Hi everyone, in this video we'll discuss about how to balance a given chemical equation. To balance a chemical equation, we should follow some rules. So, in the year of 1785, Antony Levison, in the year of 1785, Antony Levison given a statement, that is, the number of atoms of each element at reactant side is equal to the number of atoms of each element at product side. Means whatever the atoms, the number of atoms of each element at reactant side. I will explain what is reactant and what is product by taking an example. But already we done. I uploaded video, and go and watch the videos in playlist. So now listen here. The number of atoms, whatever the number of atoms present at reactant side must be equal to the number of atoms present at product side. This is the statement, or we can say this is the rule we should follow while we balance a chemical equation. So the number of atoms the number of atoms at reactant side must be equal to the number of atoms at a product side. So let us take an example to understand. So example, a reaction I am going to take here, Mg plus O2, which gives MgO. If you see this chemical equation, Mg means magnesium. What is Mg? Mg means magnesium. O2 means what? Oxygen. MgO means what? Magnesium. Mg for magnesium. O means magnesium oxide. This is the compound. What is this? MgO, magnesium oxide. Now remember here, to understand this one, if you observe here, let us assume this is the left hand side. What is this? This is the left hand side. If you observe, this is your left side and this is your right side. This is left side and this is right side. So this is becomes LHS. What is this? This is the LHS. And what is this? This is RHS, means left hand side, and this is right hand side. At LHS, we know very well, at LHS we can say this Mg plus O2 are the reactants. What are these? These are the reactants. And at RHS, right hand side, we have a product. We have what? Product. At right hand side, we have what? Product. We can say product side, RHS side is called what? Product, and LHS lies reactants. Always reactant lies at LHS and product always lies at RHS. So here we have to observe the number of atoms here. We need to observe the number of atoms of each element. Remember, of each element we have to observe the number of atoms of each element. If you observe how many atoms are there, one atoms. Magnesium, if there is no value, we need to assume one atom is there. Here oxygen, O for what? Oxygen. How many atoms are there? Two oxygen. And if you observe, there is no value. If there is no value, we have to assume there is a one value. There is what? What is the values are there? 1. Means at a reactant side, how many magnesium atoms are there? Magnesium atoms, how many atoms are there? 1. And what are the, how many oxygen atoms are there? Oxygen atoms, how many oxygen atoms? 2. So 2. So if you observe at product side, how many magnesium atoms are there? Magnesium atoms, 1. And how many oxygen atoms are there at RHS? 1. So here if you observe, magnesium are balanced here. The number of atoms of magnesium at reactant side is equals to the magnesium, the number of atoms at the product side, because one value, 1 equal to 1, so the number of atoms are equal. But when we observe in the case of oxygen, atoms are unbalanced. To balance this one, so we need to take an again we have to write this chemical equation, Mg plus O2, which gives MgO. We know very well, 1 value. If there is no value, we need to consider as 1. If you observe 1 we need to balance. What we need to balance here? We have to balance the oxygen atoms, because at LHS 2, at RHS 1. So we have to convert this 1 into 2. So how can we convert? By writing here? No, don't write, don't change the value at element side. If you observe, we have to take coefficient. We have to take what? Coefficient. If you write coefficient 2, 1 into 2 becomes what? 1 into 2. We have to multiply. 1 into 2 becomes what? 2. Oxygen is balanced. Again, if you observe, we need to observe the magnesium. How many magnesium atoms are there? 1. So 1 into 2, how much? 2. So 1 into 2, 2. But here only one value is there. Only 1 is there. So we need to take what? Coefficient 2. So observe the number of atoms at left hand side and right hand side. 1 into 2. 1 into 2, how much? Magnesium. How many atoms are there? 2 atoms. And oxygen, how many atoms are there? 2. At LHS reactant side. And at RHS side, magnesium atoms, how many magnesium atoms are there? 2. Oxygen atoms, 1 into 2. Don't forget to multiply here. 1 into 2, how much? 2. 1 into 2 becomes what? 2. And 1 into 2, how much? 1 into 2, how much? 2. So this is the process. This is the process to balance a chemical equation. But remember here, according to whom we are balancing here, the number of atoms of each element at reactant side. We observe the number of atoms of each element. How many elements are there in the chemical equation? Magnesium and oxygen. RHS product side, magnesium, oxygen. How many elements are there? 2 elements are there. So we have balanced the number of atoms at left hand side and right hand side. If you observe magnesium, how many atoms of magnesium at LHS side? 2. At product side, how many atoms are there? 2 atoms. At oxygen, 2 atoms. Therefore we have balanced the chemical equation. Therefore this chemical equation is called what? Balanced chemical equation. Which equation is it? Is balanced chemical equation. And what about this one? This is unbalanced. What is this? This is unbalanced. So this is unbalanced chemical equation. Remember, unbalanced chemical equation means the number of atoms at reactant side is not equal to the number of atoms at product side. If the number of atoms are equal both side means reactant side is equal to product side. Therefore that chemical equation is called balanced chemical equation. So this is oral about balancing a chemical equation. Let us take one more example, one more chemical equation I am going to take. So let us take second chemical equation. Let us take, this is first chemical equation. Let us consider this is the second chemical equation. So C3H8 plus O2, which gives CO2 plus H2O. So for this we have to consider, if you observe how many elements, we need to identify how many elements are there. We need to identify how many elements. Carbon is there, hydrogen is there, oxygen is there. This is reactant side, right? Left hand side is called what? Reactants. And product side is called what? RHS side is called what? Products. So remember this one, very important concept. This is, so reactants means LHS side. LHS side reactants always lies at the left hand side. This is your reactants and this is your products. So observe here how many elements are there. Carbon is there, hydrogen is there, oxygen is there. Carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. So we have to balance the chemical equation here. Carbon, how many carbon atoms are there here? Observe here, how many carbon atoms are there? 3. We need to write 3 here, or else you can take the balanced table also. So I am not going to take that balanced table. No need to take a balancing table here. Hydrogen, how many hydrogens are there? How many atoms of hydrogen is there? So 8 is given here. C3H8 means what? Propane, we can say. Remember this is what? Propane. So we will discuss about this propane in the chapter 12, carbon and its compound. Here C3H8 means what? Propane. That is a formula of this compound. H means what? 8. H means hydrogen here. How many atoms are there? 8 atoms of hydrogen and 3 atoms of carbon. Now let us take oxygen. How many oxygen atoms present at reactant side? See here, how many atoms? 2 atoms. So simply we have to write here 2. Now at product side, how many carbon atoms? If there is no value, we need to consider 1. So how many carbon atoms are there? 1. So next, how many oxygen atoms are there? There is a 2 value here. 2 plus. If there is no 1, if there is no value means we need to consider 1. So 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 becomes what? 2 plus 1 becomes 3. So oxygen becomes what? 3. Next, hydrogen. How many atoms of hydrogen is there? Hydrogen atoms, 2 atoms. How many atoms? 2 atoms. If you observe here, carbon, reactant side 3 atoms, product side 1 atom. Hydrogen 8, here 2, oxygen 2, 3. So completely we can say this is unbalanced chemical equation. Which equation this is? Unbalanced chemical equation. So to we have to convert this unbalanced chemical equation into balanced chemical equation. So what are the steps we are going to take? Observe carefully here. Again we have to write a chemical equation. Given chemical equation, C3H8, this is the propane, already I said, and O2, oxygen, which gives CO2 means carbon dioxide, plus H2O. Remember this one, H2O. So now C3H8 plus O2, which gives CO2 plus H2O. We are going to balance this chemical equation. So observe here, how many carbon atoms are there? 1. There is no value. We have to consider one value here. So we need to convert this carbon is generally 3, number of atoms at reactant side 3, so we have to convert this carbon into 3. So we have to consider 3 as coefficient. If you write a coefficient 3, means 1 into 3, how much? 1 into 3 becomes what? 3. So carbon is balanced here. Now we have to balance oxygen. How many oxygen atoms are there? How many oxygen atoms are hydrogen atoms are there? 8 hydrogen atoms at reactant side. At product side, 2 atoms. So we have to consider here 4. Why we have considered 4 means 2 fours are. If you multiply 2 into 4, 2 into 4 becomes what? 8. 2 into 4 becomes 8. So you will get the 8 value. How you get 8 value here? When you multiply the 2 means 2 into 4. When you multiply 2 into 4, you will get 8. So 2 fours are 8. So 2 fours are 8 means what? The number of atoms of hydrogen are 8 at product side, reactant side is 8. So we have balanced the hydrogen atoms here, and we have already balanced the carbon atoms. Now if you observe the oxygen atoms here, very careful, observe carefully here. Oxygen atoms, let us take oxygen atoms here. This is 2. We have to multiply 2 into 3. 2 into 3, how much? What? How much? 2 into 3, how much? 6. Plus, there is a plus. 1 into 4, we have to multiply the coefficient value, atoms with the coefficient value. 1 into 4, 1 into 4, how much? 1 into 4, 10. So 6 plus 4, 10, means the total number of oxygen atoms become what? 10 at a product side. So we have to convert this 2 as 10. So how can you convert? You have to write, you have to read 2 table. So when you get 10 in the 2 table, means 2 5s are 10. When you multiply 2 into 5, you will get 10 at a reactant side. So reactant side we have converted 10, and product side you will get 10. Number of atoms at reactant side, 10 oxygen atoms are there. At product side, oxygen atoms, how many oxygen atoms are there? 10. So we have balanced the oxygen atom. Once again, I am going to write the all the uh, elements atoms here. Each elements atoms. Carbon 3 atoms. Hydrogen, how many atoms are there? 8. And oxygen, you have to multiply 2 into 5. 2 into 5, how much? 10. So most of the students confuse here. So 2, we have to multiply compulsory. We have to multiply 2 into 5. 2 into 5 becomes what? 10. So these are the reactant side. Now observe the product side. Carbon, so let us take carbon. 1 3 is a 1 3 is a atom into coefficient, number of atom into coefficient. How much? 1 into 3 is a 3. Then again we have to consider hydrogen here. So 2 into, this is the value, atom plus coefficient into coefficient. 2 4 is 8. Next, oxygen. See the oxygen here. How many atoms are there? 2 3 is here. 2 into 3 coefficient. You have to multiply 2 into 3. How much? 6. So this is plus 6. 6 plus here 1 into 4, 4. 6 plus 4, how much? 10. So oxygen atom at the product side is 10. At LHS side you will get 10. So therefore carbon 3, carbon 3, hydrogen 8, hydrogen 8, oxygen 10, oxygen 10. So this is the balancing the chemical equation, given chemical equation. So this is the process you should follow while we balance a chemical equation. So remember this balanced chemical equation. So to balance a chemical equation, we need to follow a condition, a rule, that the number of atoms of each element at a reactant side, the number of atoms of each element at a product side. So this was given by Anthony Levison. Remember this one, Anthony Levison. So Anthony Levison given a statement, given a condition when while we balance a chemical equation. So the number of atoms of each element at reactant side must be equal to the number of atoms of each element at a product side. This is the process you should follow when we balance a chemical equation. So by this we have completed this balancing chemical equation. So thank you very much. Keep supporting to us. Like and share and subscribe our HBOM education channel. Thank you.